As he embraced this profound understanding, he acknowledged the limitations of his body to contain such immense energy, but at the same time, he felt an awakening within himself. Meanwhile, Hyun Gong, walking through the hallway, suddenly sensed a familiar energy. Intrigued by its intensity, he rushed toward it using a mobility art, muttering to himself, "That's definitely Grandmaster Hyun Guang's energy, but something's different. What's with that unfamiliar flow?" Upon arriving at the hill, he saw Hyun Guang enveloped by his own powerful energy as he meditated. Stopping below the hill, Hyun Gong, along with other students who had gathered to watch, was shocked by the sight. As Mujin observed Hyun Guang more closely, he grew increasingly concerned, wondering if the Grandmaster was in the process of achieving perfect enlightenment, as his energy seemed to be bursting like an explosion. Hyun Guang's energy surged powerfully into the sky, creating a brilliant beam of light that pierced through the clouds, causing the rain to cease. The sunlight broke through, illuminating the surroundings in a warm, merciful glow. The students of Shaolin, witnessing this remarkable phenomenon, began to murmur amongst themselves in awe. "The rain has stopped. That light, that energy, I'm certain of it, that's Grandmaster Hyun Guang's energy." Even those who were not familiar with energy could feel the overwhelming presence. The energy was so intense that it hurt to look at, yet it was also soothing and filled with warmth, radiating a sense of peace and enlightenment rather than fear. It was a divine and otherworldly sight. The realization settled upon them. Hyun Guang had achieved nirvana. The Shaolin disciples, filled with deep respect, get into respective pose and chanted a reverent mantra, acknowledging the sacred moment of enlightenment. Gone, gone beyond, gone completely beyond enlightenment. Hail. Form has emptiness, while emptiness also has form. Overwhelmed by the spectacle, Hyun Gong nervously approached and, with trembling voice, asked, "Grandmaster, has he finally achieved enlightenment?" Hyun Guang chuckled and explains that what he had previously understood in his mind has now been fully realized in his heart. Hyun Gong, still processing the gravity of this realization, questions why Hyun Guang hasn't attained Buddhahood despite reaching nirvana. Hyun Guang responds calmly, acknowledging his attainment of nirvana but revealing that his path is not yet complete because there are unresolved matters. He credits his achievement to Mujin. Hyun Guang then inquires about Mujin's current situation, revealing concern over his absence. Hyun Gong nervously informs him that Mujin has been enduring wall-facing punishment, along with the abbot for the past 18 days. Hyun Guang reacts with visible displeasure, expressing discontent with the punishment and directing his anger toward the students around him. His strong reaction surprises Hyun Gong and the other Shaolin disciples present. Soon after, a junior disciple rushes to the cave where the abbot and Mujin are still undergoing punishment, urgently calling for them to end the punishment and return. Abbot Hyun Chun opens his eyes and calmly reminds the junior monk that there are still 10 days remaining in their sentence. The junior monk, however, delivers unexpected news. Both Abbot Hyun Chun and Mujin have been ordered to return immediately. Abbot Hyun Chun, taken aback and incredulous, questions how such a thing could happen during their punishment, expressing disbelief at the notion of someone daring to interrupt it. The junior monk, however, calmly explains that the order to cease the punishment comes directly from Grandmaster Hyun Guang. This revelation shocks both the abbot and Mujin. Abbot Hyun Chun, still in disbelief, asks for clarification, unable to understand why Grandmaster Hyun Guang would give such an order. Mujin, equally confused, speculates that something might have happened to Grandpa. Hyun Gong questions Grandmaster Hyun Guang about why he is eating a certain food, to which Hyun Guang responds with a lighthearted chuckle, assuring Hyun Gong that he can hear perfectly well without him raising his voice. Hyun Guang then explains that he is trying the food because he heard it is beneficial for the body and notes that it was Hyun Gong who had changed the rules to help strengthen his weak body. Hyun Gong, a bit puzzled, asks whether someone aiming for nirvana really needs to focus on strengthening their physical body. Hyun Guang, amused, teasingly implies that Hyun Gong disapproves of him eating the food, prompting Hyun Gong to quickly deny it, clarifying that's not his concern. At this point, Abbot Hyun Chun and Mujin, guided by the junior monk, arrived outside the room. However, Hyun Guang continued by remarking with a hint of sarcasm that the reason he locked away Mujin in the cold cave must be due to his efforts in saving him. Before Hyun Gong can respond, the junior monk announces their arrival, and Hyun Guang warmly welcomes them. Mujin notices a calm atmosphere and observes that his grandpa, Grandmaster Hyun Guang, seems to be in good spirits. Relieved, Mujin comments to Abbot Hyun Chun that their hasty return